When I was just a kid, when my mommy used to sing the song. Now I've grown to be a man, but it still lingers deep within my soul. Lingers deep within my soul. She said, this train is bound to glory. This train is bound to glory. This train is bound to glory. This train don't carry no one flow. This train is bound to glory. And she said, this train carry no backslider. This train carry no backslider. This train carry no backsliders. This train for the caravans to run.
Doesn't matter.
This train is bound to this train is bound to glory. This train is bound to glory. This train don't care no one knows. This train
Woo! All right, YouTube, what's up, everybody? How's my audio? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? I see myself up in the corner. That's always weird to talk and then see a video of yourself talking back. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another live hangout here on YouTube, here in my living room / office in our home here in the middle of the Andes of Ecuador. Enjoy. It was so nice and sunny today. Pretty dry, but just so nice out. What's up, everyone? Karan Kataria, Snoo World, Cat C, Briar Rose, you're always hanging out. What's up, Brian? Michael Weisenauer, we got a repeat hangouter here. Cat C, she's always kicking it. What's up, Cat C? Ty Jacobs, what's up? Ty Jacobs says, what's your thoughts on super body keto fuel? I don't know what it is, but it sounds corny as all hell. Super body keto fuel. I don't know. I mean, that just sounds like some marketing crap. Is that something that Brandon Carter or what's another one? Like, I don't know. Is that something someone's selling now? Hello from San Francisco, says Brady. What's up, Brady? over in SFO. My sister is in San Francisco. If you see a brown-haired, blue-eyed girl, it's probably her. Luba, what's up? Cat C, I already said hi to you. Day, what's up? Dustin Mitchell. Rico the Wolf says, what are your thoughts? Whoa, 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 whoa. Got so many comments here. Rico Wolf says, Rico the Wolf, rather. Says, what are your thoughts on global activities as of late? Harvey, Irma, earthquakes in Mexico, volcano in Yellowstone acting up. I mean, what do I think about global activities? I mean, there's the wars and the rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. Like, this stuff is always going on, man. Global activities. All right, so I'll address this. I mean, where do you want me to go? Do you want me to give you the surface answer of like what you guys will understand, or do you want me to go like what I really think? And like, do you want me to go deep? I mean, this isn't, I don't know. I try to keep it focused on the health aspects of things, but you know what? This does have a lot to do with our health. The global manipulation of weather modification worldwide, geoengineering using multiple different methodologies, all of which have been documented and patented since even before the 1950s, although a lot of them came about from the Manhattan Project from the 1950s, the Teller patents and stuff like that. I mean, earthquakes, hurricanes, extreme weather, it's a science how to manipulate it, and it's a science that's been around for decades. And unfortunately, we get so distracted from the nonsense filth that gets pushed out through the media. We get us focusing on fighting amongst each other about fake left-right politics. I mean, what do they have going on in the streets now? The new distraction of, which is, it's going to be over soon. But every single cycle, there's a new distraction from the real issues that affect us all. And we can't have an honest discussion of, global weather activity and stuff like that without discussing weather modification and weather warfare manipulation that has been going on for decades. The media readily admits that China manipulates their weather, that other countries, that Russia has weather modification machines. People have heard about HARP and stuff, but that's kind of, it's almost like a whitewash topic. It's a very small facility, an ionospheric heater, and there's many of them worldwide. So Rico the Wolf, I don't know, man. Global activities as of late, as far as weather, I mean, the simplest statement I could make is we can't have an honest or intelligent discussion on this without discussing weather manipulation, modification, and weather warfare. I mean, as well as statements from global think tanks like the Club of Rome. And also analysis of certain documents like the report from Iron Mountain, which surfaced in the 1970s, talking about using climate alarmism as a catalyst to create global governing systems that, will consolidate corporate power like Monsanto and Bayer, Form and Voltron before our very eyes. So there you go. This is supposed to be about health. Let's talk about health. Hello from South Texas, 5 miles from the Mexico border. What's up, Jack Fishing? Andrew says, 10 years ago, where did you see yourself now? Where do you see yourself and your impact on the community in another 10 years? All right, 10 years or so. 10 years ago, where did I see myself? So 10 years ago, I was 20 years old. Oh, man. I mean, if I could put you in my head 10 years ago. I don't know. Interesting question. Andrew, thanks for the question, but I don't know. I'm not interested in speculation. The past is speculation, just like speculating on the future, right? I mean, our memories depend on our current emotional states, the current state of health of our body. I mean, memories can be locked up due to just stress in general. But thinking back 10 years ago from this point right now, I saw somebody that was incredibly hopeful, incredibly brazen, relatively fearless in a lot of ways, but still, I don't know, 10 years ago, 20 years old, it was a really intense year. I had a lot of things happen to me that really opened my eyes in that year. Yeah. Rosie May from Yorkshire, England. What's up, Rosie May? Cat C says, Tristan, I'm craving that keto walnut carrot cake. Jessica, do you hear that? I'm also craving that keto walnut carrot cake, Cat C. Did you notice in that video that I put up yesterday, I ate 5 pieces of that carrot walnut, or is it keto walnut carrot cake that Jessica made? It was so good. And I was super hungry. So maybe I'll go ahead and talk about the cycling of calories. Now, this is a really interesting concept, and a lot of people forget. Consistently hitting your macros is very important, but in many cases, actually cycling the intake of your calories and your macronutrients can be really beneficial. So you guys might have seen a few of my full day of eating videos in the last few weeks. In those videos, I was eating not very much. I was also running a lot. Ari, I'm busy right now. Do you need to say something? You can come say hi. You want to interrupt though? Okay. Anyways, I was doing a lot of running. I was not eating very much. And of course, if you just try to increase exercise and decrease calories, as most people have noticed, you end up eating more. Increasing exercise increases hunger levels. That's known. That's why telling people, hey, just count your calories, brah, doesn't really end up working for most people. Keto becomes a really effective strategy to mitigate how many calories we're intaking, to decrease our caloric intake and make it enjoyable and painless. So pretty awesome. But let's see. Someone says the picture is bad. That's okay. It'll maybe figure it out. Anyways, so after several days of high energy output, pretty low caloric intake, eating about 120 grams of protein, probably like 120 on fat. Maybe I think 2 of the days in there in the last couple of weeks, I had a little bit more carbohydrate around sprinting workouts, more like a targeted ketogenic diet when it took about 30 grams carb total for the day. But those were a little bit more fast acting carbs. It was actually a raw carrot juice. Ooh, carbohydrates. Remember, carbs aren't bad. It's about context. It's like fats aren't bad. We can't demonize any macronutrient. We've got to put these things into context and consider what they do in the body, when they do it in the body, and why we might want to use them in their context. So, yesterday and the day before, I was super hungry. In fact, was it 2 nights ago? Whenever that full moon was, I hadn't been watching the lunar cycle, but I knew that it was a full moon. I could just feel it that night. And then certain things started to happen too, like just around the community, which is, it's funny how things sync up like that, right? Like all the animals start acting different around the full moon, including the animal nature and people. So you start seeing people like getting a little more violent, testy, tense and angry around town. I mean, at least, where I live, it's noticeable. So yeah, full moon. Didn't sleep much at all. I'd also been kind of burning the candle at both ends. And I think on that night, I was on the computer later than I normally would have been. I was actually editing a video, which artificial light at night makes it very difficult to sleep. Reducing artificial light exposure at night is one of the #1 things that can improve our sleep cycle and decrease inflammation, improve biomarkers, and things like testosterone in general. So, yeah, what am I talking about here? Talking about calorie cycling. So anyways, after those days of really low calorie intake, my body was super hungry. I'm not trying to get any more lean. I think where my body's at right now, it's about as lean as I want to be consistently. The less body fat you have, especially when you get under like 10% body fat, it can start to affect things like testosterone levels, growth hormone levels, sex steroid hormones, and just your general feeling of well-being. So I find that about here is probably as lean as I want to get. Any leaner, I start to feel a little run down. And, if I'm burning the candle at both ends, if I'm pushing too hard with workouts, high-intensity training, with aerobic training, it can make my body stressed out. So calorie cycling can be helpful during those stressful periods, right? If you get a poor night of sleep, making sure to get breakfast the next day is pretty dang important. All the research out there on diabetics with meal timing has shown that eating breakfast is very important for blood glucose control throughout the day. So, yesterday, I skipped breakfast. I don't normally skip breakfast. I usually eat within an hour of waking up, but I had an appointment, and that appointment was for, actually it was for a massage. which was awesome because I had a couple nights of poor sleep. My body was really sore, working through some issues in the hips, some deep-rooted, some scar tissue that's been in there for years. And went and got a massage. It was a gnarly massage, and I didn't wake up till about 5 minutes before. That massage went for actually no, it was about an hour, but it took me 45 minutes to walk to where I was going. So I had a long walk in the morning, fasted about 6 hours more than I normally would have fasted, meaning I'd been fasting about 18 hours, which I normally don't do. I'm very lean, don't have that much body fat. Sometimes intermittent fasting's fine if I get into a rhythm of it, but when I do IF, I eat in the morning. And I finish my last meal usually by like 3 o'clock if I'm intermittent fasting. Due to circadian rhythms and due to sleep cycles, it just helps. Eating earlier in the day helps you sleep better. It takes 4 hours to empty the stomach out. When you do put food in there, there's stress hormones, there's things that get pumping through your body that you need to digest that food, and it does not allow you to sleep properly. So circadian rhythms is crucial, and I'm just trying to put in perspective my own circadian rhythm. As you've all seen in my videos, I've been doing a lot of these vlog videos lately, which although they're all about enjoying the moment, enjoying what's around us, stopping and smelling the baby poop or whatever it is around us, enjoying the little things in life, shots of the river and stuff like that in nature. Although it's real peaceful, it does take hours to edit those. And when I'm doing other work, like meeting with clients, putting out content, trying to finish my truck so I can drive again, this can be relatively stressful on the body. All this work, being in front of the computer a lot and not sleeping that well while doing high-intensity training can mess up the circadian rhythm, especially artificial light exposure at night. I edited that video on the full moon, was up till like 9:30 finishing it. Once I start editing a video, it's like, once I've got footage, I'm going to edit it, and it was from like one day, and I want it in a sequence, I kind of have to edit it that day. It's just how I am. If I start something, I'm like a pit bull. Like I latch on. I'm not going to let go until it's done. And when it's done, it's done. So, I mean, most of the videos I make, I don't even watch them after I finish. Maybe watch them one time with my family if there's clips of them in them, because I try to make videos for us, basically, to entertain my family and so we can look back on later on. And it just happens that it lines right up with this project that we're doing and helping other people enjoy their life. And yeah. So anyways, ramble, babble. Circadian rhythms are crucial. I decided to get my testosterone checked when my circadian rhythm was at its worst, when my inflammation was likely at its highest level that it had been in weeks, and when I was feeling a little bit run down. And right after I got a really intense deep tissue massage where this chick was like hanging on these bars and stomping me and like just pounding into my flesh. So I figured, interesting time to get blood work drawn. And it was, and I had actually fasted a long period of time, which tends to increase triglyceride levels and cholesterol levels. Although I'm not concerned with cholesterol levels in general. Talked about the cholesterol issue many times. And of course, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a member of the medical priesthood. I'm not here to give medical advice. But when you look at any of the studies on cholesterol and the associations, the real associations from cholesterol, high cholesterol is associated with lower mortality from all causes. It's associated with longevity, centenarians, people who live over 100, have high cholesterol, and people who've got cardiac events, who get coronary events, who have heart attacks. Those with high cholesterol survive more than those with low cholesterol. Those with low cholesterol are more risk for depression, Alzheimer's, all kinds of issues. Yet we're shriveling up brains, decreasing testosterone levels across the board by suppressing cholesterol with statins, and creating a highly profitable, dumbed down, subservient, testyless society. I mean, seriously, let's be honest with it. What is this doing? It's chemically castrating us. The low cholesterol diet. The low testosterone diet. Anyway, so I thought I'd get my testosterone level checked. I thought it was really interesting that my T levels were in the normal range, even after those 2 nights of really poor sleep, and then that, just a relatively super low energy output day for those 2 days when I had poor sleep. Thought it was very interesting that my test was still in the normal range, although it's nowhere near to where I want it to be. And I'll show you guys in a week how you can People obsess over these numbers, right? They go to their doctor, they get blood work done one time. And you could get your blood work taken at the wrong time. You could be feeling really crappy. You could be a little depressed. You could have gotten poor sleep for a few days. And it's going to show higher cholesterol, triglycerides, lower HDL, lower testosterone, and higher inflammation levels. But if you took it 3 days later, if you were in a slightly better state, you'd see completely different results. So people freak out about these numbers all the time. It's about context, guys. It's about context. Health is not a science. Health is not a science. It's an art. It really is. It's about balancing all these different aspects, your emotional state, psychological state, your drive, your passions, your inflammation levels, your sleep levels, your exercise, your non-exercise activity levels, your posture, your breathing. So many things that affect it, that affect our circadian rhythms, that affect the rhythm of our cortisol, the rhythm of our testosterone. And another thing, too, is it's known that taking your testosterone levels later in the day, the later you push it back, especially for men under 45, right? They say to men like 25 to 45, you got to do it at 8:30 in the morning. Before 8:30 in the morning, they claim, because it goes down throughout the day. Now, I did my T levels at 12 o'clock, and it was still in the normal range. And I was feeling crappy that day with a headache, depleted of electrolytes. I know I wasn't getting the electrolytes I needed in. So found it very interesting, though, that the T was somehow in the normal range. But, yeah, I'll show you guys later next week or something, or whenever I feel like getting my numbers checked again. I'll show you guys what's up, how easily you can manipulate and change these numbers like cholesterol, triglycerides, HDL, hemoglobin A1C, is a really good measure for blood glucose over a long period of time. Mine was 4.5. Hemoglobin A1C 4.5. That means I've got average blood glucose all the time, about 80. There you go. So there's a little bit about circadian rhythms, a little bit about my circadian rhythm, the things that I know affect my health. And health is an art. It's not a science, guys. Unfortunately, you can't just go get one biomarker check and be, oh, your cholesterol is high. You're going to die. You're going to have heart disease. These are measures. These are proxies, and there's associations between them and certain states in epidemiological studies most of the time. So all this cholesterol stuff, most of it, in my opinion, is not fleshed out at all. Is not a science. It's a lot of speculation. Granted, there is some interesting speculation out there, but it ain't so cut and dry. It ain't so black and white, unfortunately. But this is YouTube, right? We're supposed to be all about extremes, no context. You got to do this. Apple cider vinegar makes you burn fat. More ketones, better. Less carbs, the better. I mean, it's, the extremes on YouTube. I try to stay away from it. Try to give you guys balance. Try to give you guys the truth as I see it. Darren says, I just started taking MCT oil. I got an upset stomach each time. Recommendations. Good question. MCT oil can make people rapidly evacuate them bowels. So maybe just try straight coconut oil. Look, the MCT, yes, it's quick energy, and your liver will turn it instantly into ketones. But MCT oil is, what's it, like 60%? I'm sorry, coconut oil is like 60% MCT. You don't need to buy the processed refined stuff. You just use the coconut oil, and you'll get far less GI upset. Plus, the coconut oil's got the caprylic acid intact. Now, MCT oil is a byproduct of cosmetic manufacturing for the most part. They take the expensive parts out, like the caprylic acid, where they market it to high-end cosmetics. They put it in higher-end products, even nutraceuticals, for fighting candida and stuff like that. Caprylic acid's very valuable. So they remove that from the coconut oil, and then they're left with these other fatty acids. And thanks to millions of dollars worth of marketing from people like Bulletproof and stuff like that, people think that the MCT is somehow more valuable than coconut oil, when in reality, it's just a waste product. And it's being marketed, and it is highly valuable now because of the marketing. But in and of itself, just like diamonds, it ain't that valuable. There's actually a whole lot of it. So yeah, just use coconut oil. Save some money too, right? I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can save money. I mean, look, there's no product that you need to buy to do a ketogenic diet, right? Like, oh, the must-have product, you got to buy this to do keto. There's nothing like that you need for keto. In fact, all you need to buy is keto foods, proteins, fats, vegetables. That's all you need. All right. Let's see what else is going on here. James Cho, what's up, James? Rosie May in Yorkshire, what's up? 1 second, guys. I hear a food processor going on downstairs. And who was it? Catsy. I really hope that is what you and I are hoping it is. I really hope it's that keto carrot cake. What are you making down there, Jessica? She's making chicken liver pate, not my keto carrot cake. But you know what? It's probably good overall. Because what if I ate 5 of those again? Literally, so the day before I got the blood work done, I had eaten literally 100 grams of fat from butter in my last meal. Like 100 grams worth of butter. From butter in that last meal. So it was pretty much a day of eating like nothing but animal products. I didn't even have any vegetables that day. It was all cheese, meat, and eggs. And my triglycerides were still low. My HDL was good. Of course, my LDL was high, but I'm super lean. I have really low body fat levels. Of course, on a ketogenic diet, lower glycogen stores. So you got to mobilize energy. What's mobilizing the energy for you? Right? It's got to get mobilized through triglycerides and through cholesterol. So that LDL is actually bringing energy through the body. Of course, that's one theoretical framework. There's other theoretical frameworks. So, all cholesterol is bad. You know, the simplistic Bill Nye the Science Guy version. Elizabeth says, can you talk about how to raise your testosterone naturally? Yes. Yeah, and I'll show you guys how I did it in the last few weeks, right? So check it out. Testosterone levels. Just got my T levels checked on the worst day of the last few months where I was feeling run down, a little bit inflamed, a little bit frustrated because I hadn't gotten a few things done that I wanted to get done for those 2 days. So I figured, let's check my blood work when I'm feeling like this, which was like kind of the bottom where I know it's like if I keep on that path, I'm going to get more frustrated and feel crappy. And, so I, of course, pulled myself out of the slight funk, which wasn't a big funk at all. It's just getting the rhythm right. Health is an art. It's not a science. It's a delicate art of balance. Balancing on a moving point that's always moving with you while you're moving. So raising testosterone naturally. First of all, sleep is important. Also, you can raise testosterone with exercise, both anaerobic or aerobic, but it can work the opposite direction as well. If you do too much aerobic activity and you're not used to it, you push too hard like I was doing for the last few weeks, you could definitely lower your testosterone levels, which I think that's what I was seeing there too, and I was feeling it. So exercise, heavy resistance training with proper rest and recovery. Getting your circadian rhythm right is crucial, meaning sleeping on time, getting to sleep early, right? If you want natural testosterone production, which is what I go for, right? I'm not on testosterone replacement therapy. I don't do steroids. And ask these other gurus out there repping it. Ask them to show you their natural T levels, natural, right? All right. Anyways, naturally raised testosterone, making sure to get zinc in, magnesium levels, which is something that I was not watching for the last week. Very, very important. Magnesium levels, although I was eating some cacao, but I like to experiment with different things. I like to push different ways sometimes. So getting enough magnesium, zinc, sunlight, getting your vitamin D levels up, but it's not just taking vitamin D. You want to be making vitamin D. Getting out in the sun, sulfated cholesterol into vitamin D can really help to improve testosterone levels as well. But also, and this is going to sound funny, and it sounds funny intentionally because I like how it sounds, but go rub your balls on the sun. Take your testicles, bring them outside, pull your pants and all your clothes off, lay down in the dirt, in the grass, and let that sun rub all over your balls. Really, testosterone levels will be increased through UV sunlight, natural full spectrum sunlight on your erogenous zones. Rub them balls on the sun. And it feels amazing. It's something I discovered when I was 18 years old, no, 19 years old, was getting out in the sun naked, getting sun on your naked body. This has been shown scientifically, and one can speculate why nature would reward this. But when you think about what are you doing when you get, Ronald says, and get arrested? Well, if you're in your own yard, if you're in your own home, if you're in some place sane, you should be able to lay naked in your own backyard with the sun on your balls. Andrew Fawcett says that's the trouble of living in the USA. Well, I mean, you live in a city, you live in the concrete jungle. It can be difficult. It can be done though. I used to lay outside naked every single day in Santa Cruz, California, and I lived on the boardwalk. But I found a way. You know what that way was? I would hug the fence and I'd put my shit right up next to the fence, strip down naked so no one could really see me. None of the neighbors could really see me around, and make sure not to offend anybody. And I lay out there naked in the sun. Geota shorts. Yeah. Geota shorts. See, there's so many different ways we could talk about these LDL levels and cholesterol levels. And she says, my LDL was as high as yours. Actually, it was way higher. Wow. Were you fasting when you took the blood test? Yeah, I was fasting. I'd fasted. And then the day before that, I was eating in a huge calorie surplus for 2 days. 2 days before that, big calorie surplus, which calorie surplus suppresses testosterone levels. So there's another one. Eating too much and too often will deplete testosterone levels. So less frequent eating, but feeding sufficiently and making sure to get enough protein and enough cholesterol in can help increase testosterone levels. But Geota Short says when you take it fasting, it can increase your cholesterol levels. And also if you take it not fasting, it can show lower levels. Also, if you fast for an extended period of time, it can push triglycerides up, and LDL can get pushed up too, which I did. So yeah, I mean, we're looking at a snapshot not taken under the right time and taken under suboptimal conditions, but what is it showing? Very interesting, right? All right. So let's go back to getting outside naked in the sun. Little Big Head says, I only did a naked sun run once on mushrooms. I mean, this is a funny thing. This is something that, like, I mean, I don't associate it with weirdness or with, like, there's nothing sexual about laying naked in the sun, right? There's nothing sexual about a naked human body. Of course, in the childish nanny state culture that's been developed and, around us to imprison us, you don't get naked. You don't get naked outside. You don't get naked in the sun. In fact, you got to fear the sun, block out the sun. You got to cover everything with concrete. You got to avoid the sun at all costs. But man, when you get outside naked in the sun, there are amazing things that happen. First of all, nitric oxide increases, your blood vessels open up, and you can relax a little bit. You get really, really relaxed laying out in the sun naked. You can smell it kind of creating that vitamin D in your body. You can smell the changes that happen, the hormonal changes that happen in your skin. That was one of the first things I noticed when I was 18 years old, 19 years old. No, 18 years old. And I started getting over some of my crippling insecurity, and started doing what felt good and trying to live, trying not to, impress other people or, impress this girl or that person or try to be cool with this clique. Or like when I started getting beyond a lot of these things and seeing myself for what I was, which was, scared, weak, little little kid, right? Who had certain abilities, visions, talents, and experiences that could be valuable but weren't being used properly at the time. One of the things that I really needed to do was get over just insecurity in general. And, just being outside in the sun naked, I mean, it does wonders for your mental health and your physical health. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say about it. First of all, it feels good. It's really good for you. Increases your vitamin D levels, increases your testosterone levels. But also it's I mean, if you just look at it like the biological level, right? The animal body level. It's a symbol of dominance. It's a symbol of not dominance, that's a strong word, but sovereignty, right? If you're in your realm, if you're in your zone, if you're in a place that is safe. Hey, shut up, Duke. Hey, Duke. Stop it. Barks at everything for no reason. You're in your zone. If you're in a place that's comfortable, that you're safe in, you don't need to be wearing armor all the time. Look at this shirt, Coca Life. It's got like a trademark thing too. I don't know if it's like an actual company. Shirt's definitely made in China. A friend of mine got it from Peru. Coca Life. Yeah, I mean, if you're in your own zone, you're naked outside, It is a symbol of sovereignty and of security. Having to cover up all the time to protect ourselves and guard ourselves is a symbol of insecurity, signaling our whole physiology, insecurity, rigidity. But I mean, simply just laying outside naked in your zone will make you feel a lot better. Boxa, what's up, dude? Little Big Head, what's going on? Deanna DeLong, what's up? Elizabeth, I hope that helps. You're talking about raising testosterone levels naturally, but you're female. Or is this for a male friend that you know? Interesting. Fit Like Frenchie, what's up? Fit Like Frenchie says, bought the Ketogenic Edge cookbook and loving it. Very informative and helpful. That's so cool. Right on. First of all, thanks for the shout out. Thanks for enjoying the Ketogenic Edge cookbook. Jessica spent over a year and a half making that book, and it really shows. Every single recipe's got macros. All the recipes are fat loss friendly as well. All macros fat loss friendly. We're not giving you like, 70, 80, 100 grams of fat per meal. Like sometimes you might see in some of my full day of eating videos, because I'm weight stable. Sometimes I'm even eating at a surplus. But we know that most people doing keto are not doing it because they're trying to gain weight or remain weight stable. Most people doing keto would like to lose or gain some lean muscle mass, but most people in general are doing it for body fat loss. So we geared all the macros towards fat loss friendly zones. And we made sure. Hey, Jessica, can you help me out with that? I can't. If he's gonna be crying like this here, I'm gonna stop. I don't mind stopping. No, it's okay. I just have to pick him up. All right. I wash dishes with one hand. Shoot. All right, guys. Heather Anderson, we're here in Florida, bracing for Hurricane Irma. Still eating keto, praying for all Floridians. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well out there. Stay safe over in Florida. Stay safe out there. There's more I want to say, but maybe this isn't the channel, or maybe it is. I don't know. Lucille says, I go ahead and eat. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. What else is going on here? G. Powell says, hey, Tristan, I know you've been busy with life and everything else. I didn't want to hound you with emails, so I figured I'd message you here to see if you're still taking on students. Students, that's interesting. Clients is what I usually call people I work with, but all right, G. Powell, I've been really dialing back the amount of time that I spend on the computer and trying to dial back the time I spend on Skype, especially because I was doing a lot of client meetings for a while, and I needed to just get a little space from it. I love it. I love working with people. I love meeting people, talking to people. Why don't you contact me through the coaching? Go to the coaching section of the website. Contact me one more time through there. If you've already contacted me before, and if anyone else has contacted me within the last 2 weeks, I'm sorry if I haven't gotten back to you. It's nothing personal. It's personal for me, right? I just can't take on so many clients anymore. I've got a lot of clients. I have a high demand. I don't want to raise like the prices because I like the clients that I work with, right? I don't like I don't want to try and increase my prices to push out certain clientele and only work with people who will pay more. Although it makes sense economically, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I don't want to do it. Like, I don't like the whole I'm an executive coach. Like people who are looking for like the high end clientele. I don't know. I see there's a lot of false douchiness in that whole thing. So I like working with normal people. I'm not just trying to harvest money from rich yuppies who want to pretend that they're doing something good with their life. Email me, man. GPal, hit me up via email from the coaching section of the website. I'll try to get you in next week. I'll do my best to get you in next week. I'm dialing back work that I'm doing in other areas so that I can handle more clients coming up. J. Patrick Campbell, what's up, dude? Tristan, great work. Did you know the earth is flat? I have not confirmed that, my friend. Andrew Fawcett, what's up? Becky, so glad for you. Let's see. Fit Like Frenchie. Oh, yeah, Fit Like Frenchie. Thanks for the shout out about the Ketogenic Edge cookbook. For those of you who are interested in the keto, who've heard me talking about it in other videos, it is available exclusively at .com. We don't sell it on Amazon. And as usual, as I've been saying in the last few Hangouts, I really encourage other people, other content creators, if you've got YouTube channels out there, if you have things like a book, if you got an ebook, if you've got a print book, please use someone else other than Amazon to distribute it. I mean, they are cornering not only the print market and the print on demand market, but they're bullying and cornering the entire e-publication market. And it's absurd. We can't have all of this consolidated in one area. Amazon is an issue economically for small businesses, for retailers, and in general. So please, like, don't sell your stuff on Amazon. If you can avoid it, don't buy books on Amazon. Go to your local bookstore. Use bookstores. Support local economies. And support small family businesses. You know, if you want to get our cookbook, we don't sell it on Amazon. You can only find it at primaledgehealth.com. So yeah, thanks for those of you who support the channel, who enjoy this, who enjoy these live hangouts, and who enjoy the Ketogenic Edge cookbook. And if you've bought it, please feel free to leave a review on the website. There's been so many people who have left reviews. I think it's just amazing that you guys take the time to actually do that, because I know it takes time and energy. And shoot, I don't ever leave reviews on stuff. Even if I buy something and I don't like the product and it comes broken, I don't bother reviewing bad reviews even. So I know it takes time, and I appreciate you guys taking that time when, shoot, I'm a hypocrite. I don't even leave reviews myself. Chris Mead says, just started keto about 10 days in. I feel great, and I'm in ketosis. I'm trying to lose about 50 pounds. Should I lower my fat intake or increase? Chris Mead. Great question, my friend. Chris Mead, thank you for the question, first of all. Second of all, I'm glad you're feeling great and that you're in ketosis. Understand that ketosis is a side effect of the diet. It's not the main effect that's desired. Ketosis will be achieved through carbohydrate restriction. As long as you're not eating insane amounts of protein, ketosis will be achieved. So you're in ketosis. Great, that's a given. You can restrict carbs. Now, if you want to burn body fat, you got 50 pounds to lose. That means you got a lot of body fat to lose. It means you've got an ample amount of energy stored in your body that you can use for energy. Your body stored it very intelligently. It stored it in its preferred forms, fatty acids. You can burn those fatty acids now effectively, meaning you don't need to eat as much fat on the plate. So if your hunger is low, if your satiety is high, if you're feeling good, then strike when the iron's hot, burn that body fat, eat less dietary fat, and keep on your path, keep feeling good. Once you get to your goal weight, then of course you're going to increase dietary fat because you don't have body fat to burn anymore. So enjoy the ride and keep it up. Let's see what else. Hey, quick question. I started keto diet 4 days ago. I was wondering, when do you really start to see fat around the stomach area to go? I also do work out an hour and a half a day. There's no magic formula. There's no magic number. When do you see fat around the stomach area go is what you're asking. Let's talk about mind state. Let's talk about what you're focusing on. You started a keto diet 4 days ago, and you want to see results. Hey, that's cool. You know, you start something, you want to see results right away, but this is kind of faulty thinking, unfortunately. We're not going to see results within 4 days on any diet. Fat loss within 4 days, you're not going to lose a pound of fat in 4 days. How many calories is that? A pound of fat. 456 grams times 9. I mean, that's like 4 days. If you didn't eat anything for 2 days, you'd maybe lose like a pound of fat. You see what I'm saying? The fat loss happens gradually. It does happen relatively rapidly on keto if you dial in your diet correctly. So make sure you're getting sufficient protein. And my friend, sufficient protein, a good way to calculate it, the easiest way, about 1.5 to 1.7 grams per kilogram of your lean body mass, or about 0.8 grams per pound of your lean body mass. I've been saying it for years. Other people are finally catching on now. I saw some people at the Keto Con. Great word, right? Great. At the Keto Con, we're actually recommending that as well. And that's something that myself, Luis Villasenor from Keto Gains, have been recommending for a long time. It's well within the ketogenic range as laid out in the scientific literature by Volek and Finney, all the studies they've done. And in their books, The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living and The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Performance, 0.8 grams per pound lean body mass, sufficient protein. Keep your carbs low, below 30 grams. And fat is your energy source. So After you get adapted to the diet, when your hunger drops, you want to burn body fat. So that means you don't need to keep adding as much fat as you want. Eating more fat doesn't make you burn more body fat. It'll make you burn more dietary fat, of course, but it won't make you burn more body fat. So when you get adapted and your hunger drops, then drop some fats back, burn body fat, get those results. But 4 days, not long enough to see results. I mean, you got to be looking like, what are you going to be doing 4 years from now? Straight up, you got 50 pounds to lose. It's way more important to formulate your habits and to just rearrange your life. The art of health is just that. It is an art. So refine your art, refine your connection to your body, your connection to life. And that body fat will stay off, right? Because you have to rebuild our habits. Our habits build our body, and we can consciously build our habits, which will then in turn build our body in alignment with our will. J. Patrick Campbell, what's up, man? Says research flat Earth, la tierra es plana. Gracias, J. Patrick Campbell. Tú hablas español muy bien. All right. Little Big Head only ran in the sun once on mushrooms. Isn't that funny, though? It's like those experiences when people take mushrooms or something, they're like, I just want to get naked. You know, that's a funny impulse. You know, just like realizing like, wait, what is, why am I armoring myself? Like, I mean, we want to get naked, but usually it's more of it's a deeper process that's happening. We want to strip off the false layers of ourselves. We feel these layers of reality that are informing our consciousness and informing the way that we see things. And we want to strip those things and strip down naked before life. And, that's a funny impulse, though, man. When people take mushrooms, gotta get naked and run around. But look, we should be getting naked more often. Not just when you take them magic mushrooms, my friend. You should be getting naked on a regular basis, getting outside, and just enjoying the splendor of the natural world around us. Even if it's just in the corner of your yard against the fence, so your weirdo neighbors don't creep on you. Get out there. Get some sun on those erogenous zones. Samist, good question, says, is it okay to have sugar alcohols on keto or any diet for that matter? Too many things out there with maltitol, etc. I do cook with erythritol and stevia. That's a great question. It doesn't seem to mess up the blood glucose levels, but does it have other undesirable effects in the body? All right, so sugar alcohols in general. We can't just say sugar alcohols in general. That's like saying, you know, sugars in general, right? I mean, there's a big difference between glucose and high fructose corn syrup. There's a big difference between a cup of carrot juice and a Pepsi made with high fructose corn syrup. Very, very different things. But sugar alcohols in general, I wouldn't make a statement like they're all bad in general, right? Of course, plenty of people out there, they'll throw some dogma out there. Oh, it's all bad. It's about context. So in certain contexts, using some erythritol, stevia, those are both natural sweeteners. Erythritol is a sugar alcohol naturally produced in the human body, and it's zero glycemic. So erythritol doesn't create any fermentation in the gut. It also doesn't seem to create negative reactions in most people in general. I think erythritol is relatively safe. In fact, my favorite sweetener for baking and stuff like that, we don't even sell it, maybe we will, is Lakanto. Lakanto is a mix of an extract called monk fruit extract that's known to lower blood glucose levels. And it's mixed with erythritol. Monk fruit extract with erythritol. The brand is called Lakanto, Lakanto. I really like it. I like it way more than stevia. It bakes really well. There's a golden version, and then there's just like the white version, which is like more like white sugar. In context, these things can be beneficial. In fact, yesterday we just had I had a big meal with a lot of it. 2 days ago as well. When I was talking about earlier how I had about 100 grams of fat from butter, my last meal before fasting for a long period of time, and then getting those my T levels, my triglyceride, HDL, LDL, and hemoglobin A1C levels checked. The day before that, I had some Lakanto in that the keto walnut carrot cake. It was really, really good and doesn't bother my stomach. Whereas starches and stuff like that. No thanks. Don't need that fart juice. Beans and stuff like that, I get issues with. But hey, some of these sugar alcohols, I'm fine. Stevia, I don't like the taste of stevia that much, but there's nothing wrong with it. What's the other one that a lot of people like to use? The one that hurts dogs. It's in a lot of dental products. Xylitol. I'd say avoid xylitol because I like dogs, and we've had our dogs eat xylitol several times, and yeah, it was really scary. They didn't have to go to the hospital or anything, but they can kill dogs, rather. Xylitol tends to be a little bit harsh on the stomach for a lot of people. All right, Little Big Head, mutant stoner, can't even get naked inside if your house is glass. Oh, whoa, Little Big Head, that's pretty cool, right? You can't even get naked inside if your house is made of glass. I mean, I feel like getting comfortable like with your clothes off is a very important thing, just for psychological health in general. Doesn't matter what your body looks like. You think your body's fat, you think you get naked, you stand in front of a mirror and you start shriveling away at it, you get scared. I mean, that's a relationship that needs to get worked on. That is a major energetic draining point right there. So yeah, just being comfortable with your naked skin is very, very important. I mean, you're born butt naked, and that's how you're going out, butt naked. We don't get to bring any of this with us, any of this armoring or stuff with us. And we're made to be naked in that sun. Maybe not all dang day if you're a European, but you're made to get that vitamin D pumping through your blood. And getting it on your testicles will increase your testosterone levels. That's probably why my testosterone levels were still within the normal range with the crappy sleep that I got, among all the other factors. To still get out in the sun for a few minutes at least every day. And I rub my balls on that sunshine. All right. Okay. Let's see what else is going on here. We got so many people. What's up, everybody? I got to scroll up here. I'm way behind. Okay. Jennifer Evans in Austin. What's up? Stanislava Popsilova says Ryder talks like his dad. She spelled it Raider, like Mance Raider. Hi. Do you know why we start sweating, not doing anything, just sitting? I don't know why. There could be many causes. Stress can cause that. Nervousness. When I was in elementary school, I remember getting excessive sweat sitting in class, just feeling insecure and stuff. And then I would get insecure about sweating. So my armpits would sweat, and I would know that they're going to start to smell. So I'd keep deodorant on. Maintain the glass house, right? To maintain the illusion of being accepted by other people. So I put the deodorant on, make sure my armpits didn't smell. I felt really insecure because I get spots. I get spots under my shirts in school, like all the way up till high school. I remember just being neurotic about it in certain ways, like wear like undershirts. And I would sit in class. I lived in Riverside, California in elementary school. Terrible weather. It was like really hot a lot of the year. I would get sweat like in my butt. I'd get butt sweat sitting in class. And you stand up. And I wasn't like obese or anything, but chubby, little belly. I was insecure. Right? Like I was raised in the whole culture is about preying on insecurity, right? All of American culture, pop culture, it's about making you feel worthless, insecure to market to you. Same with all the fitness industry. Why do you think these dudes are, flexing, all jacked up on their exogenous testosterone, talking about how to raise your testosterone naturally? These dudes have like 24-inch arms. Like, come on, Thomas DeLauer. I mean, dude, come on. So anyways, yeah, I used to be insecure about that. I'd get sweaty, and then I would be nervous, and I would be feeling that anxiety about the sweat, and that anxiety would make me sweat more. That's probably all of it probably came down to anxiety, breathing habits. So just breathing through the nose, opening up your nostrils. Really, really important. But yeah, so stress reduction, I'd say first one to start. Like if you're sweating just sitting there, also could have stuff to do with like hyperthyroid. It could be thyroid stuff. There's other things that could be going on. You'll be okay. Don't sweat the small stuff. Seth says, what are your thoughts on rhodiola rosea? I've seen rhodiola change people's lives, but it doesn't mean that it's good for everybody, right? I've seen it change people's lives. Rhodiola is a powerful Siberian. You hear that? You're Ryder. Someone says Ryder sounds like his dad. I sound like that sometimes inside. Ah! Why me? Ah. Come on, we all sound like that sometimes in our mind, whining and complaining about nonsense. Not that that's what he's doing. He's just tired. He's a baby. That's all he knows is how he feels. He's reacting to the animal body. I want to suck a booby and sleep, he says. So do I, Ryder. So do I. Rhodiola, powerful adaptogen, can be really helpful for anxiety. Like we were just talking about anxiety. Shoot, I wish I had rhodiola when I was in elementary school, in middle school, completely filled with fear, shame, and anxiety. Just thinking, memories. Yeah, I was like, we were the Columbine generation. I remember 1999. They traumatized the world with the videos of the Columbine shootings and programmed more people, telling them that this is a good way to get attention, programming the consciousness of the people. I would go to school every day worried that someone was going to come to my school and shoot it up. I remember that. And then you start like all the little kids, like a little bit sketchy, the kids a little bit depressed, going to shoot the school up. Kid said something weird. You know, that was stressful, man. I remember I was 7th grade when Columbine happened. Fascinating. Volta Speeder says, hey, man, that carrot cake looked fantastic. You're lucky to have such a nice wife who takes care of your tummy. You hear that, Jessica? She's gone. She's taking care of my baby right now. It's crazy, right? Yeah, I'm super blessed that Jessica makes delicious food like that. Thanks, Volta Speeder. Seth Mark, thanks for the question. Boxa, what's up, man? Jennifer Evans, what's cracking? Ronald Whiteman, what's up? Mutant Stoner, any tips for weight loss plateaus? I'm stuck at 223 and it's annoying. I'd have to look at your situation, man. But first of all, what did we talk about earlier? Circadian rhythms, stress, and sleep. So reducing your stress is crucial. Reducing your exposure to artificial light at night, sleeping better at night can be super helpful for blood glucose control, meaning you end up less hungry throughout the day. Also, low carbohydrate ketogenic diet, which maybe you've already been doing. Mutant Stoner, I know you've been watching these Hangouts for a while and commenting for a long time. And so, yeah, keto combined with perhaps some more advanced intermittent fasting techniques. But, I mean, look, you're 223. I don't know how tall you are. I don't know what your lean muscle mass is. So it's hard to say exactly what's going on. Make sure you're getting enough protein. Make sure you're not just, starving yourself into oblivion, starving yourself of protein. It's the most important macronutrient to eat for fat loss. So get enough protein, 0.8 grams per pound of lean body mass. Keep those carbs low, and fat's your energy source. If you're super stressed out, if you're working out real hard, sometimes increasing your caloric intake for 3 or 4 days and then dropping it back can help rev the metabolism up, give your idol a little more oomph so you're burning more calories throughout the day, reset your leptin levels. So, yeah, try that out. Boom, 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 boom. G. Powell says, if you were a grad student living in a house and time frame that's not conducive for meal prepping and cooking, what are some quick meals you recommend for days I just don't have time? Man, just why don't you watch some of the videos I've made for the last 2 weeks? Look at my meals. They're all super quick. Almost all of them are leftovers. I'm doing I had some organic chicken sausage we get locally. It was leftover. Jessica had already cooked it the day before. I just cut it up, throw it on a pan, heated up some leftover meat and some eggs. Right? That was my carnivore salad the other day too. I had 3 eggs, just threw 3 eggs, fried them up, some sardines, and then some leftover ground beef or something that was in the fridge. It's like making bulk foods. You're a grad student living in a house. You got time for, you got to make time, man. It's like, what's important? You're a grad student. Come on. When I was a student, I had so much time. All these, I can't, when university students tell me they have no time, I think it's hilarious sometimes. How much time they spend on Facebook. You say you got no time, dude, but you're watching me right now. Come on, you got time to make food. So yeah, bulk preparing veggies. If you want a bunch of spinach, take a kilo of spinach, prepare it all at once, steam it all up, put salt, butter, whatever sauce you want in it, and then, or actually wait to put the sauce and stuff, but steam it up, put some salt in it, and put it in the fridge in Tupperwares for 5 days worth of spinach. Do the same with meat. Do the same with vegetables. Sardines are quick and easy. Hard-boiled eggs, quick and easy. And also check out the Ketogenic Edge cookbook. Most of the meals in there are relatively simple, easy to prepare, and a lot of them are really friendly for just meal prepping ahead of time. So the Ketogenic Edge cookbook, my wife's cookbook, is available exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. Check out the vegetable section, the sauces section, and also the organ meat section. One of my favorite recipes in there for making in bulk and saving is you just bake these meatballs, Mama's Best meatballs, and you can add organ meats to them per instructions from the organ meat section. Like I like to do 50% ground beef heart with the ground beef and Mama's Best meatballs, and those will keep for 5 days in the fridge or more. And they keep 3 days here but yeah, so bulk prepare that, a few pounds of meat, bulk prepare it, weigh it out in 50-gram increments, and there you go. 50 grams of meat is in each meatball. That's how we do it. 4 meatballs, 200 grams of meat. Boom. Box that says fear porn sucks. I'm not believing it. Get off the fear porn. How much does the media love it when they get these orgies of fear porn? Like every time there's a natural disaster, natural weather modification. Look at the weather modification patents. Edward, this has been around for a long time. Weather warfare has been a thing since at least the 1930s. We've known that seeding clouds has been happening since at least the 1920s and 30s. The ionospheric heaters on every continent. Next generation radar stations. I mean, fear porn sucks, right? But how much does the media love it? To pump out all this fear, all this destruction, and make everybody feel like they got to get glued to the TV. And they do it, they recycle it with tragedies and trauma to traumatize people into watching it. Because everyone loves a spectacle. It's a natural human thing to stop and look at the train wreck. We're always trying to map out our environment, right? So when we see something destructive, if you see the aftermath of a battle or a war, you take note of it. So stay away from that area. Stay away from that lake. There was 20 dead bodies in that lake. Stuff like that. It's like, oh, there was a slaughter in this village. You want to stay away from this area. It's like superstitions and stuff arise from this, but it's like a survival thing. Where blood's been shed. You want to stay away from those areas sometimes because there's danger around there. So we want to naturally look at these things, but the media loves it when they can make us whipped up in a state of fear and make us feel like we're dependent on their fake reporting. Anybody, it was a fantastic documentary. Recommend to everybody out there. It's from the 1992 presidential election, and this is not like a political show. I would choose like the fake left or the fake right. This is not a political thing. This is about being human. This is about human rights. That's one of the tricks too. Like instead of focusing on actually our rights as human beings, our God-given rights to live freely, happily, and to control what we put in our body, when we put in it, and what happens in our home and in our environment, try to make that like some left-right battle. It's ridiculous. What was I even talking about here? Forget. Like, stay away from that fear porn. The media loves to drag us in, right? It's like they did with 9/11. Drag you in to the fear porn. You get glued to the TV. What's going to happen next? Oh, every day, like on what is it, like CNN, MSNBC now, it's like, what is like the new world-ending tweet, right? Every day it's a new emergency broadcast. Trump tweeted. How can we allow this? How can we allow our president to tweet without us filtering his words? But it's all just games. It's all just there to control our consciousness, to get us to glue into that grid and feed it. Disconnect from the television. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. Who can free our mind? Brady Hold, what's up, man? Dude, that's rad. Brady Hold says, yo, Tristan, I cook all my meals on a camping stove, keeping it keto while living in my car. Brady, are you still here, man? Brady Hold, I'm scrolling down to the very bottom. Brady Hold, I want your email address, man. That comment's so cool. That comment is so cool. Brady. All right, what was your name again? Brady. Where'd you go? Brady Hold. Brady Hold. I want to give you a free copy of the Ketogenic Edge cookbook. Every once in a while, I like to give one of these things away. I don't know, every once in a while, I like getting hooked up, so sometimes I like to hook up other people, but that comment's rad. You are living out of your car, making all your food on your own little portable stove, staying keto. And that's awesome, man. I want to hear more about it, but also I want to hook you up with a copy of our cookbook. I want to give you a copy of the ebook, the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, a training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. I want to hear about you making some of these on your on your stove, on your portable stove. All right. Ronald Whitman says, through fear, you can sell anything. Yeah, exactly. Fabsy Bunny says, I live a block away from Columbine High. Yeah, how messed up was that situation? And then when you look at like the connections between like Dylan Klebold and was it Eric Harris? Was that their names? Who were their psychiatrists? And what drugs were they on again? Very interesting connections there. All right. Little Big Head says, woo, Brady. Brady, I don't know if you're here, man. Oh, there you go. Brady Hold, behold@gmail.com. That's sweet. That's a great one. All right. Behold. Never mind. I shouldn't say your email. If anybody spams you, I'm sorry. Brady Hold, my friend, I'm sending you a copy of the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook right now. Look in your email. Hold on. The subject's going to be have a great day. All right. Let's get you this cookbook, Brady. That's so cool, man. Why are you living out of your car? Is it by choice? Obviously, it's by choice because living is a choice. We all know the way out, don't we? All right. You just got an email with your ebook in it, Brady. I hope you enjoy it, my friend. What's going on? Tell me about the car, my friend. The Nowhere van. What's up? I live in my van and I already have your cookbook. Dude, that's so rad. All right, everybody. Ooh, Brady. Stanislava Popsalova. What's up? Boxa Richard Wolf. Joey says, what do you think about the snake diet? What is a snake diet? You just eat rats? I don't know about that. All right, Seth Mark says, thanks for answering, Tristan. My sister is studying medicine to be a doctor and stripper, and I want to help her any way I can. Isn't that crazy? It's like that the whole medical profession, it's so stressful and so expensive to get into it that by the time people get in, it's like, for the most part, completely wiped out emotionally, psychologically, and mentally, but also enslaved to a huge amount of debt. And you've got to push a certain line for pharmaceutical. I mean, it's a trap, man. I feel sorry for a lot of these people who there's so many people who want to become doctors, who want to make a difference, who want to help. But I mean, you get pushed into this, the government mandated healthcare system, this whole like Obamacare thing. It's absurd. I mean, you're basically creating this new medical priesthood, consolidating, all of this in the hands of pharmaceutical companies. I really feel for your sister. Yeah, it's definitely stressful trying to become a doctor. But she's determined. I mean, there's people that make it through that system and can do a lot of good and actually help people and don't just prescribe statins and sling a bunch of vaccines to children all day. There's a lot of people who are making a big difference. So yeah, that's cool, man. I hope right on. Little Big Head, what's up? Oh, Little Big Head says, I have the time, just not the money. College is tapping me dry. That's why I was so grateful when this man gifted me a copy of his wife's cookbook. I forgot I gave you one. Little Big Head. Thanks, man. All right. Claire Feline, that's a good question. What are your thoughts on gut bacteria contributing to weight gain and mood disorders? It is what it is, right? I mean, well, what influences gut bacteria? Gut bacteria are affected by mood and by our decisions as well. So, I mean, there's Chris Mead. I'm not going to read your comment out loud, but that's hilarious. Actually, that wouldn't be helpful because, all right, never mind. Let's see. What's it talking about? Gut bacteria. Yeah, it's like our mood can affect our gut bacteria as well, though. Stress levels can allow gut bacteria that wouldn't otherwise be overgrowing in our body to take root and grow. So, I mean, yeah, gut bacteria can contribute to weight gain and mood disorders, but it's sometimes, what are you even measuring when you measure gut bacteria? You know, I mean, it's like if you do a few days of deep breathing and get proper sleep, your gut microbiome will completely change. So then is it gut bacteria attributing to weight gain and mood disorders? Or is it gut bacteria being measured in relationship to stress, chronic stress, environmental stress, toxic load in the body, glyphosate load in the body? And are we measuring the response to stress, and then the gut bacteria is there because of the stressors that allowed it to take root and take hold? That's the question. All right. Andy Sanchez says cauliflower rice was a hit at my house. Kiddos called it special rice. That's so cool. Right on. Okay. AET, what's up? How's it going? I remember you. How's it going? All right. Esther says, got the book. I'm going to start enjoying it. Right on. For those of you who want the book, I just gave one away to the lucky winner of the day. Copy. I'm not going to give away any more today. And I don't just give it away flippantly. It's like only if someone really stokes me out with their comment. You know, there's different reasons. Different reasons that I give it away. I mean, this guy living out of his car, making keto foods all day. I think it's really cool. You know, I mean, people giving up the illusion of what they've been told they need to seek in life and getting out on the road and seeing the world, actually talking to people, having faith and moving through life without being so concerned. Oh, what am I going to do for money? My career, my job, my mortgage. You know, I think it's awesome that there's people out there just like, I'm alive and I'm going to live and I'm hitting the road. So, yeah, I'm glad I can hook you up with a copy of the book. For those of you who want a copy of the book, it's only $20 and it's only available at primaledgehealth.com. We call it a training manual, right? It's not a cookbook. It's not just a list of recipes. It's a legit training to help you become a master chef in your kitchen, to master the art of low carbohydrate food prep. That's what it's all about. All right. Let's see. Brady Hold says, health, says, I would say 80%. Wait, what's going on here? Christina says, Claire, that's why probiotics are so important. If your gut bacteria is too out of whack, it can mess your whole system in weird ways. Christina, I'm going to disagree with you. Most probiotic strains are transient. You don't know what most of these strains are doing in your specific body. And most people are just saying, oh, that's a good brand, I'm going to buy that probiotic. They just say probiotics are good in general. There's certain strains of bacteria that can have negative effects on some people. There's certain strains of bacteria that can have positive effects on different people. You know, I mean, I could be affected negatively by one strain now, but then 6 months down the line, when I have a completely different microbiome, I could be affected differently by that strain. So just throwing probiotics on a body doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you got to prune back certain bacteria using certain things. Sometimes just lifestyle changes are enough. There's a lot going on there. Of course, the gut microbiome is of vital importance, but just thinking, oh, well, I take a probiotic is going to help is missing the point. You know, health is an art. Your gut microbiome is a delicate, balanced ecosystem with thousands of microorganisms. James Cho, what's up, man? Alejandro Diaz says, what's up, SA? Watching from East Peoria, Illinois. Thank you for keeping me sober one day at a time. Your videos are part of my motivation. Dude, I'm not keeping you sober. You're keeping yourself sober, man. That's your life. That's your body, and it's your choice. You want to live, or you want to poison it to death? You're choosing the life. You're choosing connection to life, man. It's like, I'm not the one helping you. If you get any help from me, it's just, I was just lucky enough to be a vessel that could flow some truth through it momentarily, right? I'm so stoked for you, keeping you sober one day at a time. I mean, I can't keep you sober, man. You can keep you sober. Your connection to life. Your faith that you can do it and that there is support there for you is important, man. You can't have faith in me, though. Really, to me, it all comes down to a higher power. To me, it comes down to something bigger than me, something way better. All right. Dustin Mitchell says the crushing debt alone is what dissuaded me from pursuing a career as a doctor. Yeah, no, my grandfather was a doctor. He was incredibly unhappy. All the doctors in my family are, I don't know. It's a harsh reality. It's a harsh world to live in. the medical profession. Shout out to the nurses out there. You guys don't get enough respect. My grandmother was a nurse. Who worked doubles, raised 8 kids by herself after my grandfather passed. Crazy, right? No, 9 kids rather. 9 children, nurse, working doubles, night shifts. Talk about burning the candle at both ends. You know what? She lived to be 90. She just died last year. All right. Brady says, I would say 80% choice. I moved from my grandfather's house and just never settled down. I have to settle some address stuff and still work a job and still do comedy. Right on, man. Just enjoy the book, though, man. Like, I want to see if you got an Instagram, if you do any of that kind of stuff, which if you're sane, you probably don't. But I'd love to see some pictures of, like, if you make any recipes from the book out of your van, show me, man. I want to see it. Claire says the digestive system is often called the second brain. Yes, it is. The gut-brain axis, incredibly important. The gut microbiome is crucial, so of crucial importance. But it needs to be studied a lot more before like I said before, health is an art. And correcting gut imbalances is the same. There's no magic formula. Even like the fecal microbiota transplants, stuff like that. You take a healthy microbiome, you implant it in an unhealthy microbiome. That can have effects, but it's not perfect yet. A lot of times it takes multiple applications and changes in diet. But a lot of people that do these fecal microbiome transplants where you take someone else's poo-poo and you put it where your poo-poo comes out of, disgusting, right? But this is a way that people are recolonizing their gut after lots of antibiotics, chronic disease. I mean, kids are getting their lives back from this. I'm not going to make fun of it. It's powerful. It can be useful. But it's interesting when you read some of the things, like people's palate can change. Their mood will completely reformat. Children who have autism is linked to disruptions in the gut microbiome. There's no doubt about it. Autism is linked. Why are we talking about the cause of autism? What the heck is going on? Why is it taboo to talk about the cause of autism? To talk about the vaccine injury fund, billions of dollars being paid. Why is it taboo? Who owns your media? Who demonizes the people who try to warn you about these things? Dr. Andrew Wakefield is a fraud, they said. Oh, really? Oh, really? You want to check those facts? Check them facts. All right, John Titor, the time traveler from somewhere in the Andes. Coast to coast AM. Trey, Tristan, well, I absorb most of my multivitamin if I take a 4-pill dose spread out throughout the day. I don't know, man. I don't know if your multivitamin's absorbable or bioavailable. I don't know. All right, D-Craft says, hey, Tristan, need some serious guidance. I started keto 1st of March 2017, lost 20 pounds. Now I've been trying to maintain since the beginning of August. However, eating at maintenance calories, 1,800 calories. I'm gaining weight about a pound a week. I'm up about 5 pounds. Also, since changing from my calorie deficit and trying to maintain, I find myself so hungry, not full, always thinking about food, exercising a lot more now. Why? Because I thought that would help with maintenance. No, it just makes you more hungry. 5 times a week, intense interval type exercise. All right, first of all, you're probably gaining weight because you're probably gaining some muscle if you're getting enough protein. All that intense interval training is going to create a chronic stress response in the body and make you far more hungry. I just talked about this earlier in my own context, and I kind of even showed blood work from when I was doing this. But if you burn the candle at both ends, if you're not sleeping well, if you're stressing at work, if you're trying to exercise too frequently, too often, and too intensely, you can get lots of issues. So I'd say, first of all, make sure you're getting enough protein. If you're gaining weight, if you're stressing yourself out so much, you make it way more likely that you're going to be hungry all the time. So relax. Eat enough protein, give yourself a few days to adjust, low energy output, heal that body, and reduce the intensity and frequency of your exercise would be the first thing I would do if you're my client. I don't know what macros you're eating. I don't know what your body composition or history is, but there's some general guidelines that I would give in a situation similar as yours if I was working with you as a client, and I hope that helps. All right. Toxgasm. Can't sleep on keto. Tried magnesium. Remove caffeine. Melatonin. 5-HTP. No blue light. I'm wired at night. This never happened when I ate carbs. I slept great. Are you getting enough sodium and potassium in? I would ask you that. Something's going on there. You're not sleeping. Something's off, my friend. All right. P. Mo says, are you pro Second Amendment? I love me some guns. Pro Second Amendment. Yeah, I'm definitely pro not being disarmed and enslaved, like most European countries have been, and Canada, and Ecuador. And in Ecuador, there's pretty strict gun laws, but you can get concealed carry permits. You can get licenses to own firearms. But the average individual is disarmed. Of course, there's a huge black market for guns everywhere. So, I mean, it's just like prohibition on anything. It doesn't work. So when you disarm people, you're essentially telling criminals, you're the only ones who got the guns now. And there's a bunch of sitting duck wussies out there waiting for you to come take their shit. And that's what happens in Ecuador. People just raid houses with multiple guns, and they know that no one's going to put up a fight because guns are illegal. And who has the guns? Well, criminals. Because they don't, like, illegal? It's illegal. Here it is right here. It's like drugs are illegal. Really solve that problem. All right. All right. Matthew Smith says, hi from Vienna. Thanks for the good work. While in ketosis, moderate amounts of fruit have an intensely calming but yet stimulating effect on me. Do you sometimes use carbs to alter your mood? I use carbs for many different reasons, not usually to alter mood. But interesting question. I mean, it's you're tuned into your body. You're understanding your physiological response to things. So yeah, I don't know. You enjoy some fruits, some seasonal fruits, some carbohydrates. That's normal. That's normal for the human body to enjoy carbs. When carbs are available, it's normal for us to want to eat them all as well because they don't last. Like fruits, you gotta. If you're going to store fruit, you can ferment them. You can make alcohol and stuff like that, which is, historically always been done. But you got to eat those quickly. If you go ahead and get a cache of berries somewhere, cache, I don't know. You get a cache of berries, you eat them. You don't just let them sit for a few days, eat a little bit now, a little bit later. You gorge on those so that you can fatten yourself up because there's going to be a harsh winter to come, perhaps. Speaking of winter coming, what happened to Game of Thrones? Like, come on. That was so whack. They turned it into like an anime. The writing was so horrible this season. No creativity at all. All right, Tuxgasm. I hope your sleep gets better, man. You'll figure it out. I don't know what's going on. Esther, what's up? Manuel Hera, what's your opinion on prolonged fasting? Can be useful. It's about context, though. Fasting can be stressful for some people. Some women have poor results doing extended fasting and have, very elevated stress hormones during it. So it's all about context. If you're doing it for the right reasons, if you're doing it with the right intent, I think fasting can be a powerful tool physically and emotionally and spiritually as well. But you're playing with fire. People fasting for aesthetic purposes, I definitely don't agree with that. I think it can distort your connection and feed eating disorders, and like, let's face it, man, like some of the people are promoting fasting nowadays, like Jimmy Moore. I don't care. I mean, this dude's like publicly dashed me, called me names. So like, to call a spade, man. I mean, the guy's been bouncing back and forth, fake yo-yo dieting for how long now? Says, oh, it's just because I'm insulin resistant. Oh, I would never starve myself on a low-fat diet, but I'll starve myself now because it's trendy and I'll make money from it. I'll starve myself on a after I've done a high-fat diet because it's okay to starve yourself in that context. It's nonsense, man. And it's like, you're going to do it like that just for weight loss stunts, and then you go back to your disordered eating habits and gain it right back like Jimmy Moore does. And then that's nonsense. And that's promoting schisms and, it's promoting negative cycles in people's lives and helping them to, just justify poor eating habits, eating disorders, and make excuses. So in that context, it's lame. But in the context of like empowering yourself to get beyond your obsession with food all the day, for figuring out what's really going on inside that drives us to do what we do and behave the way we behave. Sometimes removing that stimulus can allow us more space to explore our consciousness and explore the reality around us and get a healthy relationship with the source of this life. Because like the source of this thing is not just the physical body. Okay. There's so many. It's hard for me to stop. I want to get to the bottom and like read all of these, but I can't read them all. Little Big Head says, took a source called crime as a social construct. Basically, the thought is we've created crime as well as mental illness through various parts of society. That sounds like some critical theory stuff to me. We didn't create crime. It's like, what about murder? It's like murder, jealousy, rage, theft. We didn't create these things. You don't freaking come steal from me. You don't break into my house and beat me up. That's a crime. Mental illness, there is mental illness. Look at all these people who watch TV and they just get whipped up into a frenzy. Like, that's mass mental illness. So yeah, I mean, in certain ways it does get created, and the whole mental illness, the whole labeling somebody mentally ill thing can become a social control, social construct. But I guarantee, like, whoever taught this course, they're probably some Marxist critical theorists. And you're just like, oh, crime is just a social construct. Everything is relative. It's the moral relativism nonsense, just like the whole Big Bang thing, right? Or like the Darwinian nonsense of, oh, it's all just random. We're just random ball floating through this universe, all these other random balls, and nothing means anything, and nothing really matters. It's all this relativism crap, and it's just there to disempower people and disconnect us from life. There really is crime. Like, I can commit crimes against my soul. I can corrupt my soul. So can you, like anybody can. We can do things that will make us filthy inside. Stealing, lying, cheating. Those are crimes. Murder. Matthew Wesley, you trying to make me cry right now? He says, did you get the blazer running? Matthew, my blazer is almost running. All right, update on the Blazer. 1982 K5 Blazer. Has a brand new not brand new because the block's old, but it's got a brand new built 350 in it. Some nice Brodix heads, roller rockers, a nice cam, more like a 4x4 cams. Comp cams, extreme 4x4 cam, very mild. It's like the second or third mildest cam in that line. Very low end torquey cam. Center Force 2 clutch. I was going to put a dual friction clutch in there, but I bought the wrong plate with the wrong clutch disc, so I couldn't use it. So I had this other Center Force clutch, which is a great clutch. So I'm using that. Put pistons in, some flat top pistons to get the compression I wanted, which is a little over 9.5 to 1, so I can run pump gas. What else? It's just going to be awesome. I got like my whole transmission. The transmission's rebuilt, transfer case is rebuilt, and hopefully after I get done with this, I'm gonna go down to my friend's shop and maybe we can put the transmission in. But then here's the hard part, Matthew. This is what breaks my heart. I got to do the wiring, and I've been wanting to do this wiring for like 3 years. I've had wiring issues in this truck forever. I don't like electrical stuff. This whole thing is a learning experience to me. It's the first time building an engine. Luckily, I had awesome guy to help me. Who's been building race engines his whole life. Shout out to Don Cass. So the electrical is like the last thing. So I got a new wiring harness to install. I've stripped it, like the whole interior, it's all stripped out, so I can see all the rust that needs to get fixed, which is really annoying because once the engine's running and the wiring's in, I can drive it. But then I got some rust that I want to take care of. I got lizard skin that I'm going to coat the inside with to heat shield it. And I mean, I'm fully restoring this thing, highly modified, but like it's going to be very nice. Vintage air AC unit, modern AC system, new dash panel. Like brand new dash panel from Dakota Digital, which was great. It makes it really simple because it'll fix my speedometer without me having to get the new gears and my transfer case. So I can calibrate my speedometer electronically now, which is rad. And I'll have a tack. And so, yeah, that's the state of that. I need to get the wiring installed, and I need to get the instrument panel installed. I have a friend who's going to help me. And by help me, I mean hopefully he's just going to do it all because I don't want to do any of it. It's no fun to me. What's fun is building the engine and driving the car. The suspension and stuff was fun too. And I still need to put, I changed the gear ratio in the back, but 4.1 gears because I got 33-inch tires on it. And so I got to change the gear ratio in the front, which I already have the ring and pinion. It just got to take the time to do it. And I got new ball joints in case I need to change the ball joints. But I don't know how to, like, about the adjusting of the camber and caster. So yeah, that's the Blazer. And I've been walking the last few weeks. It's been nice walking and running more. But I cannot wait to get my Blazer back. John Titor says Game of Thrones writing went downhill because George Martin only gave them the outline and the writers had to fill in everything else. I noticed. Well, see, I there was a while there, like, you know, after Jon Snow's resurrection, it was just like, I mean, that season it started to slide. After season 4, it was all downhill because they had no more direction. And you could totally tell now that Germ is not giving them anything. And it's just all Hollywood. Like, what's with all the softcore porn scenes now? So corny. So corny. And like just the what was it, the dialogue with like the super friends marching to the White Walkers, and it's just the same shots over and over again. It'd be like Jorah and Jon Snow. Hey, Jon Snow, do you like Daenerys? It's just so corny. Like the whole thing was whack. I'll still watch the last season though. All right. I'm gonna get going, guys. I'm gonna get going. It's been a long time. Ariana says yay. She's sick of me being on here. Matthew says you're gonna have to do a video on it when it's done, and wiring will be relatively simple for a K5. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I mean, you say you can't wait to hear it run. You know how nervous it makes me to see this engine just sitting there. I mean, it's all put together. Only thing I have to do is put the distributor in, doing a Pertronix distributor. Oh yeah, and then put the carb in, and then break it in and run it, but it hasn't started yet. So it's like, I don't know. I'm nervous. It's going to be awesome though. Yeah, I'll make a video when it's done. All right, everybody. I'm going to get going. Little Big Head says, well, I go to a liberal arts school when it's gen ed course, a computer science major. It was exactly heavy Marxism for sure. And I'll tell it all. I went to UC Santa Cruz, dude. I understand like all this Marxist nonsense. I grew up with it. I grew up in California, Southern California, right? Like I had friends whose brother, like I remember this kid I went to high school with. And I remember Dave, great, like good person, like a nice, sweet person, wild. He got suspended for making napalm in like 7th grade. But he made it at home, and like he told someone at school that he made it with like golf balls and like gasoline. He was just playing around. Like we used to make fake napalm from styrofoam and gasoline when I was in like 6th grade. Anyways, he got in trouble, right? Post 9/11 world, nanny snitch state. He got suspended from school, I remember. But he had this older brother. His older brother was involved with a fake anarchist movement, right? The Marxist anarchists. So I mean, I was exposed to a lot of this stuff like early. And like how the little handlers work, how they're all the handlers for these little Antifa and these like fake these Marxist groups, their handlers are all like university professor yuppies. Really funny stuff. But yeah, I went to UC Santa Cruz, man. We had La Raza, like lots of like racist, like super racist professors in the LALS, Latin American Latino Studies major. There was also a feminist studies major. Yeah, so and I was a history major. So you take other courses in other areas. Ronald says styrofoam and diesel. That's what's up. Hillbilly napalm, my friend. That's what kids should be playing with, not freaking iPads. Let them make napalm out in the desert where it's nothing to burn. But yeah, no. Back to the universities, the Marxism stuff. Oh yeah, University of Santa Cruz, man, hotbed for it. It's not like Berkeley though, you know, they don't incite violence in Santa Cruz. It's more like they'll funnel some of those people, but Berkeley's the real center for all the, you know, the fomenting of violence and stuff. Of course, it's connected with SRI, Stanford Research Institute, and all the MK Ultra stuff that's been going on since the 50s, and they've really dialed in the cultural programming using these nexus points in the universities, and it's very obvious to anybody who's been through the system who's got an open mind. But it's cool to see people talking about it now. Like, at least people talk about it. Marilyn Hill. What's up, Marilyn? Let's see. Have you ever had anyone with type 2 diabetes and Parkinson's together? That's what I have, and I can see the keto is going to help me. It's just I need more insight somehow. Marilyn. All right. Parkinson's, neurodegenerative diseases, and especially type 2 diabetes are definitely things that you want to consider using a ketogenic diet as an adjunct therapy for. Um, Look, if any member of my family had a neurodegenerative disease that was diagnosed, I'll diagnose them all with some neurodegenerative disease, but if it was actually diagnosed as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, something like that, I would definitely recommend a ketogenic diet. Marilyn, if you're still around, Marilyn Hill, type 2 diabetes also, I mean, reducing your inflammation levels, keeping stable blood sugar will reverse, and you can completely get rid of the type 2 diabetes. And when you reduce the type 2 diabetes and the symptoms, all this inflammation goes away, your whole central nervous system will function better. Deborah Fiore says, great cookbook and videos. Much love to you and your beautiful family. Thank you. Thank you. Marilyn, are you still here? If you're still here, Marilyn, I want to hook you up with a copy of the book. If you're still here, Marilyn, put your email in the window here. I think this is the first time I've done 2 in one day. But yeah, Marilyn, what's your email? Hook me up with your email. I'll give you a copy of the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, a training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. You already got the book. All right, great. So use the book as a training manual. Use it to help you make nutrient-dense, whole foods-based recipes at your house. Like, it's really, when you're starting a ketogenic diet, the most important thing is not, oh, you got to eat as much fat as you can. Yeah, and the macros are important. Getting sufficient protein, keeping those carbs low, getting the vegetables in for micronutrients and the fiber if you agree well with fiber. And fat is your energy source, right? So 0.8 grams per pound of lean body mass for protein, 30 grams and under net carbs. Fat is the energy source. And I want you to use the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook to learn how to make nutrient-dense, whole foods-based meals, fish and seafood, selenium and iodine, and DHA. Getting those levels up, very, very important in my opinion. Definitely helpful for healing the central nervous system. So check out you already got the book. I was going to hook you up with one. But yeah, use the book. Use that as a guide. Use that as a training manual. And that's your life. That's your body. You're not owned by these diagnoses, right? Oh, type 2 diabetes, completely reversible in a short period of time. Parkinson's, hey, that might seem a little more complicated, but you know what? You have life. You don't have Parkinson's disease. You have life, right? And the condition that you were born with, the disease that you were born with, life, inevitably ends up with us dying. It is our responsibility to actually live. Right? I mean, I got this written down here. I don't know why I wrote it down. We all will die. The choice is whether we live. We could die like a coward or live like a blank. I didn't know what to write for the end right there. That's the opposite of dying cowardly. I don't like the word hero. That's the truth, right? We can live in the time we've been given. We know we have to die, but we don't know if we have to truly live. That's our choice. So you've been given life, and you're taking your life into your hands. You're taking your health into your hands. You're taking responsibility to get rid of that type 2 diabetes, get rid of the negative lifestyle habits that are causing this. And in so doing this, you can definitely improve your central nervous system and your general health. So please keep enjoying life. Keep moving forward. Volta Speeders talk about N-acetylcysteine working wonders for neurodegenerative diseases. NAC can definitely be helpful. Look that stuff up. N-acetylcysteine. I've got some of it around. I don't use it very much. There's so many things that, like, oh, this would be cool to have, and I never end up using them. I'm not big on supplements all the time, but they can be fun. All right. What do you think about making yogurt from cream to ferment it long so the lactose will be gone? Yeah, look, full-fat yogurt in reasonable amounts can be part of a healthy ketogenic diet in context. This is all about context. Greetings from Pacific Beach. What's up, man? I used to live in Carlsbad, not too far. Stone's throw away from you in PB. Should I be concerned if my testosterone's too high? I'm 58. Using the scale, my latest test came 1239. Been on keto 5 months. Yeah, I've seen this in other people. Are you concerned that your test is high? I mean, like they're, having super high testosterone can have negative side effects, but that's usually super physiological doses, like the ones that these guys on YouTube are taking. I'd be stoked. I mean, I've got a client who's 60 years old. His testosterone was a similar level. His doctor was alarmed. He's like, how is this so high? This is insane. Volta Speeder says, what's up with your cholesterol? Some people might think you'll get a heart attack because I measured high cholesterol once. I talked about this earlier, man. You don't come on here and say this nonsense, dude. Don't come on here and start trying to pick me apart. I share this stuff in context to help people out and to give you context. Yeah, my cholesterol level was high when I'd fasted 18 hours and under super high stress, very little sleep. And I took my test at noon, not 8:30 in the morning. So it's known that extended fasting raises cholesterol. I took it late in the day. Also, I ate over 100 grams of just straight up butter the day before in that keto carrot cake. Loads of stuff. I can't tell you how many, I opened myself up to the nonsense and the little nitpicking parasites out there when I put my information out there. But I'm not here opening up wounds for you little parasites to pick on. I put this information out here to help people, not to get your freaking diagnoses, right? Like, I put it in context. I intentionally got blood work drawn when I was under more stress than normal and not treating myself as well as I could have, to see the context of what my blood work would look like in those conditions, feeling that way. And I knew what the results would be. And I actually thought that they would be worse. But the cholesterol thing is just nonsense, right? My triglycerides are low, low, low. Hemoglobin A1C, low, 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 low. HDL 63, high. But my LDL 225. All right, so when you're on a ketogenic diet and when you do extended fasting, when you're losing body fat, and when you have super low body fat, what is it that carries energy through your blood? Right? You don't have glucose. You have low glycogen stores. You have very low body fat, but then you still have high energy output. Where's that energy comes from? Why do you see people who have super elevated cholesterol, but normal blood work, everything else is healthy? Right? We're measuring the wrong thing a lot of the times, and we're focusing on the wrong metrics. These are snapshots in time of what's going on. And I'll show you guys next week. You can completely change all these numbers with simple lifestyle changes. I'm not even going to change what I eat. I'm not even going to change my diet. I mean, leading up to those tests, it was basically cheese, eggs, meat. That was my diet. Cheese, eggs, meat, butter, all saturated fat, super high cholesterol food. I was eating like 10 eggs a day some days. Crazy. It's about what works. It's about what feels right. It's about what your body can thrive in. Volta Speeder. I know you're joking. You're a regular here. But it is like, I know, and I put stuff out there. It's like the vegans go, oh, yeah, high cholesterol. Ah! It's about context. I actually know how to push my cholesterol down and get a super low reading artificially. Not even artificially. Here's a really interesting article. Look up this article. Are you a cholesterol hyper responder or a lean mass hyper responder? That's on Cholesterol Code. All right. All right, everybody. We're winding down. It's time to get out of here. You guys hear the kids in the bath. They're playing. They're so cute. All right. Marilyn Hill, Boxa, Claire Feline, Volta. You can come back later. Marilyn, John Titor. No, I don't take pre-workouts. Anyways, that's it, guys. You can find more at primaledgehealth.com. Yeah. Thanks for enjoying the content. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoy this, if you like what you hear, if you like what you see, check out primaledgehealth.com. For those of you who are interested in the Ketogenic Edge cookbook, that's not available on Amazon, and I urge you not to buy ebooks and books on Amazon. Buy them directly from the people who are providing the content, and those of you who are making valuable content and marketing and selling it. If you've got valuable content and it's worth it, why are you going to cheapen it by selling it on Amazon? Why are you going to cheapen it by selling it at the Walmart of online retailers? extricate your energy from that. If you've got a real audience, if you have a real connection with your audience, why do you need Amazon? You don't need those extra sales. At least I don't. Anyway, whatever. I just don't like seeing Amazon take over the print market. You know, it's consolidating it, and it's alarming. It is alarming to see the entire print market. Well, it's like, you know, most of the print companies, Simon Schuster, they're consolidated anyways, just like media. But online important that we have freedom in online publishing, that we can publish whatever we want, say whatever we want, whether someone disagrees with it, whether the government says it's untrue or not. You know, the priesthood should not be able to tell us what we can put out, what we can publish. So if you're publishing stuff, sell it on your own website. Don't cheapen it by selling it on Amazon. You can find the Primal Edge Health Cookbook. I'm sorry, the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, a training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine, exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.